Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. A very good morning to you students. Okay students, as you all know that we are doing the first unit of chemistry, that is fundamentals of chemistry, and in today's topic we will discuss about the basic definitions. As students, I have told you already that in this chapter, basic terms or the basic terminologies or basic of the chemistry have been discussed. So in this chapter, basic definitions will be in this topic, basic definitions will be discussed that are most frequently used in chemistry. Okay, now come toward the topic. First definition is of matter. Students, have you listened this word before? And I think the answer is yes, because you have read about this word in your science book and you have read about its definition that matter is the anything that has mass and it occupies space. It's mean anything which occupies a certain place or that has some mass. Its mass may be small or its mass may be large. The space occupied by it may be small or large, but it occupies space and it has mass is called matter. For example, I am giving you example that chair is a matter. Why? Because it has certain mass, it has some weight, and it occupies certain place. So it is a matter. Okay. Next is the substance. Matter having special characteristics that make it different from other. For example, I am giving you example that there is a chair that is made up of plastic and there is a table that is made up of wood. These two matters are different from each other. Why? Because their properties are different. So a matter that has special characteristics that make it different from the other matter, that is called substance. For example, oxygen is matter because it has certain mass, it occupies certain place. Water is matter because it has mass, it occupies certain place or certain space. Now, oxygen is different from water because the properties of oxygen are totally different from water. Now, we will call oxygen as a substance, water as a substance, urea. There are so many examples that are substances. So you can say that the thing or the special characteristics that make a matter unique from other substances, that is called substance. Next, element. Simple substance that cannot be further divided into other simple substances, that is called element. For example, in substance, I have given you some examples like oxygen, water and urea. Now, if we look at these examples, in this example, oxygen cannot be further subdivided. Why? Because if you divide the oxygen, what will be its product? It will always be oxygen. But when you will divide the water, it will divide it into oxygen and hydrogen. Oxygen and hydrogen. So it has divided. It's mean it is not an element because it is made up of components. So you can say that element is a simple substance that is made that is composed of only its own same kind of atoms. Oxygen is all atoms present in oxygen molecule are made up of oxygen atom. So it cannot be further divided. While in water, it is made up of hydrogen and oxygen atoms. So it can be further divided. You can't call water as an element, but you can call oxygen as an element. Okay, next, compound and mixture. In your book, as I have told you earlier students, that whenever you are listening or watching your video lessons, your book should be open in front of you. So if you look at your book, there is the definition and of compound and mixture, but I have written that topic compound and mixture in the form of different, so that it is easier for you to make it easier for you people to understand the difference between compound and the mixture. Okay. Now, look at the compound. It is a pure substance. Compound is a pure substance in which two or more elements held together through the chemical bond. You can say that it is a pure substance in which different elements two or more than two elements. Those elements may be same, those elements may be different. They combine together through natural forces, and those natural forces are called chemical bonds. Okay, so if we look at the definition of mixture, it is an impure substance. Here comes the first difference. Compound is a pure substance while mixture is the impure substance, in which two or more elements retain their individual characteristics. Retain their individual characteristics mean their properties or their characteristics will not change when they combine in the form of mixture. Their properties will be as like when they were separate. Okay, compound cannot be converted into its component by simple physical method. You can change it into its component by some chemical method, but you can't change it into its component by simple physical method. But in mixture, you can simply convert it into its component by simple physical method. Next, properties of compound are different from the properties of elements from which it is formed. It's mean once the elements have been combined and now they have been changed into compound, now their properties will not remain same. The properties that they possess when they were separate, now they have been changed. While in mixture, properties of the elements will remain same. Mixture will have same property as the properties of its component elements. For example, water is a compound. Now, you know that water is made up of oxygen and hydrogen. Water is made up of oxygen and hydrogen. Oxygen and hydrogen are gases, while water is a liquid. Properties of water are totally different from the properties of hydrogen and oxygen. It's mean hydrogen and oxygen are components of water. It's mean when the components combine and they form compound, then their properties will be changed. Now, I am giving you example of mixture, that if you dissolve salt in water, it is a mixture. If you taste that solution or that mixture will have a taste of salt. It's mean salt has not changed its properties when it combines with the water in the form of mixture. Now, next, compound is always homogeneous. Homogeneous means they will have the same phase. Its phase will not change. While mixture may be homogeneous or mixture may be heterogeneous. Homogeneous mean a substance which has the same phase, while heterogeneous mean a substance that has different phase. In the next slide, I will explain it. Okay, compound examples are carbon dioxide, water, and mixture examples are salt dissolved in water. You can say sand dissolved in water. So students, I think you have learned or you have understand the difference between compound and mixture. Again, I am describing it that compound is a pure substance, while mixture is an impure substance. In compound, two or more elements held together through the chemical bond that is called through the chemical natural force that is called chemical bond. While in mixture, elements combine but they retain their individual characteristics. Compound cannot be converted into its simple components by simple physical methods, but mixture can be converted into its component by simple physical method. Properties of compound are different from the properties of... Here I want to explain it with the help of example that compound cannot be converted into its simple components by simple physical method. For example, I have given you the example of water as a compound. So, do you have some common method that you change water into its components hydrogen and oxygen? No, we don't have any simple or simple physical method that we use that method simply and water is changed into its component hydrogen and oxygen. But if we look at the mixture, I have given you example of salt dissolved in water. So, if you heat that solution or that mixture in which salt is dissolved in water, if you heat that mixture until all the water becomes evaporated, now what will happen? Salt will remain at the bottom of that container. It's mean you have simply separated water from the salt by a simple physical method. Okay, if you heat the solution, if you boil the mixture in which salt is dissolved in water, what will happen? Water will evaporate and salt will remain on the bottom of the container. Next, properties of compound are different from the properties of the element. Once elements have been combined and they are changed into compounds, now their properties will change. While in mixture, element does not change their properties will be same as they were in individual state. And compound is always homogeneous, while mixture may be homogeneous or it may be heterogeneous. Okay. Now, as in the previous, there was a point that mixture may have homogeneous or heterogeneous composition. Now, we can say that mixture has two types: homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture. Homo means same. Homo mean same. Hetero mean different. It's mean homogeneous mixture is a mixture that consists of only one phase. Homogeneous mixture is a mixture that consists of only one phase. For example, if you dissolve salt in water, the mixture is of only one phase. If you look at that mixture, it will show a same state. It will show a same phase. But if you dissolve sand in water, then there will be two or more visible different components. It's mean it will be heterogeneous mixture. Why? Because if you dissolve sand in water, you can look directly at the sand as well as on the water. These two components are different from each other. These two components are visible to you people. But if you dissolve salt in water, you can't separate or you can't look at the different components separately. But in sand and water, two or more components are totally visible to you people, and in homogeneous mixture only one phase of the mixture appears to you. Okay, so homogeneous mixture is a mixture in which has only one phase, for example salt dissolved in water, and heterogeneous is a mixture which has two or more visible different components, for example sand dissolved in water. Okay students, your next definition is atomic number. Students, you have learned about this word in your previous classes. For example, in 7, 6, 5 class, you have learned about the atomic number. So, what is atomic number? Atomic number is the protons that are present inside the nucleus. As in the 7th grade, you have learned about the structure of atom, and in that grade you have been told about that atom is made up of two main parts: nucleus and shell. Nucleus is that part which contains protons and neutrons, while shells are the circular orbits around the nucleus in which electrons revolve. So, protons inside the nucleus, they are called atomic number. For example, carbon has 6 proton in its nucleus, so its atomic number is 6. Atomic number is generally represented by Z. Okay, you will represent atomic number Z. If there is written Z is equal to 6 or Z is equal to 7, it's mean its atomic number is 6. So, atomic number is the number of protons that are present inside the nucleus of any atom. While mass number is the sum of protons and neutrons that are present inside the nucleus. As I have tell you about that atom consists of two structures, nucleus and shell. So, nucleus is the circular orbits in which electrons move, while shells are the circular orbits in which electrons move, while nucleus has two main subatomic particles, protons and neutrons. If you are talking about only protons that are present inside the nucleus, it means you are talking about the atomic number. But if you're talking about the protons and neutrons together in the nucleus of an atom, it means you are talking about the mass number. So, mass number is the sum of protons and neutrons that are present inside the nucleus. Or you can say that total number of protons and neutrons present inside the nucleus are called mass number. Mass number is generally represented by A. So, carbon has 6 protons and 6 neutrons in the nucleus. So, its atomic number is 12. 6 protons, plus 6 neutrons, and it is equal to the 12. Okay students, here I want to tell you that if you have been provided with the mass number and atomic number, for example, I have told you that there is a compound carbon, it has mass number 12 and its atomic number is 6. Now, what is the question? The question is that tell me how many neutrons are present in this element. So, how would you find out? You would find out it by using a formula. And what is that formula? The formula is neutrons is equal to mass number minus atomic number. You will subtract atomic number from the mass number to get the number of neutrons. Why? Because mass number was sum of protons and neutrons, while atomic number was only the number of proton. So simply you would subtract the atomic number from the mass number and the answer will be the number of neutrons. Okay students? Okay students, our today's topic is up till now. As in today's lecture, we have discussed about the basic definitions. Basic definition of element, metal, compound, mixture, atomic number and mass number. Students, again I am telling you that these are the basic terms that will be used most frequently in your coming chapters. So you have to learn your unit number 1 fundamentals of chemistry very carefully to understand the remaining chapters. If you would not clear your concept of this chapter, then the remaining or the coming chapters will not be clear to you people. So if there is any confusion, there is any question about these topics, you can ask it directly to me, and you have to learn these topics very carefully. Okay students, your homework is that learn these basic definitions by your heart, and must be, again I am repeating it, that you have to do your work on daily basis in order to understand your remaining chapters. So do your homework very carefully, and if there is any question, then ask it directly to me. Wish you a very good luck, and Allah Hafiz.